Welcome back guys to PNG Web's YouTube channel. In this video we will look at the life of Robert Agarobe, the current governor of Central Province, the sitting governor, who is also the founder of the helicopter company Helifix. In this video he will tell us about his own life story. Enjoy.
My name's Robert Agarobe. My dad's of Koyari and Gaba Gaba. My mom's from Chimbu. And there's 5 of us in the family, 1 sister and 4 boys. My dad was a teacher in the early days and was transferred up to Hagen to teach, and that's where he met my mom. My mom was raised by American missionaries, 7-day missionaries, and when she was of age, was sent to Hagen to train to be a nurse, and that's where my dad met her, and they both got married and eventually moved back to Mosby. My early school days was back in Kaparoko. I grew up in Kaparoko, it's around the Bugle Bay area, and I spent 10 years there. I used to speak the language. I still speak a little bit of it, but I understand all of them, all the language in the Bugle Bay area. After 10 years in Kaparoko, my dad then transferred to Papua New Guinea, that's in Sinagoro, and taught there for about 3 years. And I grew up there. I spent the 3 years there. And then my dad retired as a teacher, and then moved back to Gaba Gaba and then ended up becoming a PMV driver. He actually had a PMV and he drove it himself. My mom, because times we had at the time, my mom eventually found a job here in town as a house girl and used to do housekeeping work for an Australian naval officer, and we lived in Boroko. At the time, life was pretty difficult, so we all had to be a bit creative and innovative in everything we did to survive. I was then about 13, 14 years old. I finished my community school at Kwikila, at Gaba Gaba, and then went on to Kwikila High School, where I did 4 years of my high school education. After Kwikila, I scored very, very good marks at school, but then I guess I used to get into a lot of mischief at school at the time, and didn't really get any offers when I finished year 10. I had my choices there. My first choice was to go to National High School, and my second choice was to go to POMTech to do aircraft engineering, and my third choice was to become a marine engineer. That was in Medellin. Unfortunately, none of them accepted me. So I then went to the Office of Higher Education and asked why I wasn't given any offer. And it was there that they told me that I had a very bad record at school and none of these institutions wanted me. So I asked them if they could give me a second chance, and with that they told me that I had 2 choices. One was to go and do my preliminary year at the university after a year, or take up an electrical course at POMTech. So I chose to take up the electrical course at POMTech. So I went on to POMTech, did 2 weeks introduction at the school, and I got hold of a pamphlet at school, and in it stated that I could change courses in 2 weeks. So I went down to the principal office and knocked and asked if I could have a chat with him. So anyway, he took me in and I asked him if I could change courses, and he said, which school are you from? So I told him that I was from Kwikila High School, and he said, we don't take year 10s anymore for the aircraft school because of the high failure rates. But then looking at my marks, he could see that I had good marks. So he decided that he should give me a chance. So he called up the aircraft head of the aircraft school and asked him if he would fit in an extra student, because they only take 15 every year. But then, because it was also the last time the school was being run, because it was going to be closed after that, they decided to give me a chance. So I was pushed into the aircraft engineering school, pet course student, and I did my aircraft engineering. After my pet course there, I was given an offer by a little company in Leh called Reggae. So I ended up going to Leh and I did my apprenticeship there for 4 years. It was a very good company. The company only did maintenance. They didn't own any aircraft. So I was trained very, very well there by my boss. I worked on aircrafts and eventually got to work on helicopters. And that's where the interest stuck, and I eventually became the first licensed helicopter engineer in the country.